You know what? We were going to start the show with something else today, but the Instagram stories heard around the world from Brooklyn Beckham have superseded anything we were going to talk about. Now, I'm going to read these out to you because I think, we have a podcast.
Messy.
Yes, and it's messy, and, it's worth kind of going into because I think you need to understand the full thing. You've probably seen stuff about this on TikTok or whatever, but I'm going to actually read what he says, okay? So the first Insta story says, I've been silent for many years and made an effort to keep matters private. Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell the truth about some of the lies that have been printed. I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life. For my entire life, my parents have controlled the narratives in the press around our family. The performative social media posts, family events, inauthentic relationships have been a fixture of my life I was born into. Recently, I have seen through my own eyes the lengths that they'll go to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people to preserve their own facade. But I believe the truth always comes out. My parents have been endlessly trying to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. My mom canceled making Nicola's dress. Nicola Peltz, his
which and we'll get into kind of the backstory of their marriage after we read these stories. But yeah, his wife and not the most loved.
Well, the family's extraordinarily rich, right?
Yes.
My mom canceled the making of Nicola's dress in the 11th hour, despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing Nicola to urgently find a new dress. Weeks before our big day, my parents repeatedly pressured me and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. They were adamant about me signing before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since. During the wedding planning, my mom went as far as to call me evil because Nicola and I chose to include my nanny, Sandra, and Nicola's nanny?
Like nanny, like Italian, right?
Oh, okay. At the table because they both didn't have husbands. Both our parents had their own tables equally adjacent to ours. Before our wedding night, members of my family told me that Nicola was not blood and not family. And since that moment, I've started standing up for myself and my family. I've received endless attacks from my parents, both privately and publicly, that were sent to the press on their orders. Even my brothers were sent to attack me on social media before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere last summer. My mom hijacked my first dance with my wife. This is a big one. Pay attention to this.
This gets messy, yeah.
My mom hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned for weeks in advance, to a romantic love song in front of our 500 wedding guests. Mark Anthony, like J-Lo's ex-husband, Mark Anthony, called me to the stage where the schedule was planned for me to have a romantic first dance with my wife, but instead my mom was waiting to dance with me instead. She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. I've never felt so uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life. We wanted to renew our vows so we could create memories of our wedding day that would bring us joy and happiness, not anxiety and embarrassment. Now that's just the first part. I'm going to get to the last part. I want you to grab the whole thing.
Yeah, and especially, for folks who are listening audio-wise, like you need to hear
You need to hear this.
And I think you're doing a good job in inflecting where it needs to be inflected. So
okay,
continue.
Good. I'm glad.
Yes,
by the way, Jackson and I are both sick this week. It's not because we made out with each other.
Or is it?
It could be. People are wondering.
Ooh,
people are asking. My wife has been consistently disrespected by my family. This is Brooklyn now, not my family. No matter how hard we've tried to come together as one, my mom has repeatedly invited women from my past into our lives in ways that were clearly intended to make us both uncomfortable. And we're talking about his brother, Brooklyn's brother, dated for a long time Brooklyn's ex-girlfriend. Despite this, we traveled to London for my dad's birthday and were rejected for a week as we waited in a hotel room trying to plan quality time with him. He refused all of our attempts unless it was at his big birthday party with 100 guests and cameras in every corner. When he finally agreed to see me, it was under the condition that Nicola wasn't invited. It was a slap in the face. And later when my family traveled to LA, they refused to see me at all. My family values public promotion and endorsements above all else. Brand Beckham comes first. Family love is decided by how much you post on social media, how quickly you drop everything to show up and pose for a family photo op, even if it's at the expense of professional obligations. We have gone out of our way for years to show up and support every fashion show, every party, every press activity, and to show our perfect family. But the one time my wife asked for my mom's support to save displaced dogs during the LA fires, my mom refused. The narrative that my wife controls me is completely backwards. I have been controlled by my parents most of my life. I grew up with overwhelming anxiety. For the first time in my life, I stepped away from my family and that anxiety has disappeared. I wake up every morning grateful that I chose the life that I have and have found peace and relief. Last paragraph. My wife and I do not want a life shaped by image, press, or manipulation. All we want is peace, privacy, and happiness for us and our future family.
I have so many thoughts. First of all, it seems like someone's leaving the royal family. You know what I mean?
It feels very Prince Harry.
It feels very Prince Harry being like, we are on our own. We are our own entity. Like, I don't want to be a part of this system anymore. I will also say that.
It's like I threw it on the ground.
Yeah,
I won't be part of your system.
Yeah, I'm moving to LA with my wife. Also, this is the first time he's publicly said anything. He's done, things like there's been like vague posts.
Yes.
There's been the unfollowings that have happened. And I think regardless of how this went down, being the first Beckham boy to leave the family, it was going to get messy. It was going to get messy.
And he's the firstborn.
And he's the firstborn. He's the first to leave. He's marrying somebody who has extreme wealth, who is a stronger female personality than most, regardless of what you say about Nicola. Because there are a lot of I think it can be a lot of things. Maybe she and Brooklyn aren't the best couple, but also maybe the Beckham, Posh and David are brutal together. Yeah. Who knows? But the fact that he's actually saying something, it's been since 2022 that they've been married and he said nothing. And now he's had it with remember when David's documentary came out? That was a huge, because they weren't at the red carpet. He hasn't been at multiple red carpets. Posh had a series that came out earlier this year.
Which I have to tell you, I tried to watch it.
It's rough.
It was so boring.
It's rough. It's so boring. David's the more interesting one.
I want to hear about the Spice Girls though, and she made it all about her fashion. I'm like, I don't care.
So do I. And I want to hear about the lesbian lore. They were all
what? The Spice Girls?
Yeah, Jerry. I'm pretty sure it was Jerry and Posh.
Jerry and wasn't it Jerry and Scary?
Which Spice Girl? Yeah, Jerry.
Wait, they were hooking up?
It was Jerry and Scary that the rumors were about.
Together.
Really? I did not know.
Pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't even looking for lurid sexual details. I just wanted to know what it was like to be a pop star.
Yeah, no, they were like straight up girlfriends. They both said it. Yeah.
Did not know that.
But yeah, there's been no shortage of opportunities to say something, and Brooklyn said nothing. Do I find him incredibly boring sometimes? Yes. Do I find his cooking videos great? No. But do I think that he's probably trapped in that system? Absolutely. And I think the closest that you can find would be the royal family. That's another system. And British tabloids, British press is a completely different beast that we don't understand. And the manipulation that people like David and Posh can have on that tabloid system is wild.
They know how to use it.
They know how to use it, and we're seeing it, right? And we just see the other side. We see across the pond. So I'm there. It does seem a bit. Does he not have a brand manager or anything like that?
Well, I mean, listen, when you're at that level of wealth, if you don't, that's a choice. It's not like you can't afford it.
I see some of his cooking video edits.
Well, okay, so let me talk about that. I want to get to the wedding dance thing in a sec, but I want to talk to you. I want to give you a little background on Brooklyn Beckham, because I have to admit, all I knew is his dumb cooking videos and his bad photography book. And
you've had trouble with his photography for years. I remember you bringing it up on Virgin Radio. Yeah.
But I felt bad finding out what I found out, because listen, you can throw Nepo baby around. People have said that about me.
Yeah.
And fine, that's fine. He is. I in a smaller way, I am very small, tiny way, compared to this. And if you have a family, listen, if your dad's a plumber and you take over the plumber business, you're a Nepo baby too, baby.
Yeah. No, it's true. An accountant's child getting into counting numbers.
Yeah, especially if they take over the business. That's nepotism, and that's part of life. But what I'm trying to say here is okay. So I didn't know this, but because he was the firstborn son, Brooklyn was expected to play soccer at a very young age and expected to be good at it. They really wanted him to be the next David. And he was actually and the way that it works in Europe is a lot different than here. So if you're good at a sport in Europe, you are in the academy for a major team. So you imagine the New York Yankees or the Toronto Maple Leafs or a major brand here in North America signing somebody as an 8-year-old and putting them in an academy, and they go to school, but their whole life is that sport.
David went in at 13 or something crazy, didn't he?
Yeah. And they're getting them younger and younger and younger, and they're pulling kids out of poor areas of Brazil and whatever, just trying to find the next big talent. So Brooklyn was put into the Arsenal, which is one of the biggest soccer brands in the world. Arsenal Academy. And that is from the time he was 4 to the time he was like 16. He says, all I did was play soccer.
I didn't even know that.
And when he left, when he was ultimately not good enough and was bounced from the Arsenal Academy, he stopped playing it altogether, never played soccer again. And that was a bit of a letdown for the family. Not that he was never going to be good enough to make it, but you know, I think that they were like, well, they were kind of hoping that he had inherited David's athletic genes, maybe not the same.
Yeah.
Very difficult to do that. So then they put him into an art school, and he is in New York, and it's one of the highest, I think it's New York or Boston. It's one of the highest, like, high-end art schools. And he is taking photography or whatever.
Yeah.
And at 16 years old, they get him a campaign with Burberry. The Burberry.
Yeah.
Like the iconic British fashion brand. And he takes a bunch of pictures for them. And of course, people are like, what the hell is this? These are terrible.
Yeah. Like,
because he's 16 and he just picked up a camera.
But is that his fault or Burberry's fault? You know what I mean? It's like,
I think it's the Beckham's fault and Burberry's fault.
Yeah, like bring your kids to work day and then publish it. You know, like, yeah, no. Ugh.
So then he releases then he goes to, I think they have a publisher that wanted to do David and Victoria's books. And they said, well, if you want to do our books, you got to do Brooklyn's books. And so he releases the photography book, which we all made fun of him for, because the photography wasn't good. And again, this is not something that he wanted to do. This was quote unquote brand Beckham.
Yeah.
And so of course it's a failure. And then afterwards, they put him in like a cooking school so he can become like a chef. And we remember the cooking videos and how bad they were.
They're still going.
Yeah.
But he likes making them. It's like when, you know, sometimes we like making content that maybe not everyone likes.
100%. I mean, he was like debuting his photographs at like major art exhibitions, and people were like, what is happening here? So I can sort of begin, when I know that history and that background, to start to see what he's talking about when he's talking about everything is brand Beckham. They were trying to make him a standout in something. And the reality is that some people are just like Prince Harry, kind of just a normal guy.
And also they're like, he can perform all their tests. It's like, maybe he'll be good at this. Like by the time they get to like Cruz or Romeo, I think it's Romeo's the youngest. Like Romeo's hot. Like he's
producer Steph's looking that up.
Yeah, he's looking. Like he is doing modeling. He is a soccer player, I do believe. But like he's figured, like they're leaning into his strengths rather than being like, you need to do this.
Smart.
And Cruz plays music. Cruz is good at music. I mean, he's okay at music, but like they're letting them, shine for their actual talents.
Cruz is the youngest.
Cruz is the youngest.
Youngest boy.
Now Romeo's the soccer player.
Romeo's the soccer player.
Also, there are rumors, and I will say this, and I'll show you a photo, that Romeo may not be David's child.
Oh.
And I think I've seen some things online that he may be.
That's salacious, Jax.
I see.
Looking at the picture, I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Well, he looks like perhaps a different ethnicity than the rest of his brothers, and he's absolutely beautiful.
Now, sometimes makeup can do that.
Exactly. But often he looks
okay.
And I don't know the player.
I did not know that.
I don't know the player, but like there's like this beautiful black man that was a player around the same time as David Beckham, and there's rumors that I've just seen this on Reddit floating around. I can't
listen.
Neither here nor there.
None of this is verifiable, by the way.
He's gorgeous, but like you look at it, it's like. They made Brooklyn, do whatever they want. And then Romeo, they're kind of being like, okay, lean more into this or lean more into that. And by the time they get to Cruz, they're like, all right, you want to play guitar? Go for it.
By the way, it's so like a family with multiple siblings. The first child's expected to do everything.
Exactly.
And then by the third child rolls around, they're like, I don't know, whatever you like.
Who's the daughter? What's the
Harper, I believe.
Harper? Yeah.
Harper?
Which is a nice name.
Harper, you know what she does? Whatever she wants, probably. She's just chilling. She's just hanging out. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. She's probably cozy, probably has a nice pair of Uggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing her thing, But she doesn't, I feel like she doesn't get I feel like Brooklyn was like the sacrifice.
Certainly. I mean, listen, every first child is, right? It's the first experiment.
Yeah. Like,
you're the second child, right?
I'm the second child.
So you were probably allowed a lot more leeway than your brother was. Were you not? Or did it not work that way in your family? You guys are pretty close in age.
We're pretty close in age, yeah. We're 3 years apart. I think my brother did things more by the book, and they were a little soft. I think they were a little softer on David because he was also like a boy and the firstborn, and I was doing drugs in the woods. And I was, if you say no, I'm going to say hell yeah.
I'm going to smoke some weed with my boyfriend.
And I'm going to steal your car. And I'm going to take all your money and I'm going to sneak people into your basement.
You got to understand what a juxtaposition that is to you now, right?
Yeah.
You're like a teddy bear now. And
The
fact that you're some badass.
Hide your purse, Mom. I'm 14. Okay. But no, these kids are figuring it out. Yeah.
Well, okay. So this is the funny thing. When Beckham, when Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz get married, her family makes him sign the prenup because she's the one that comes from real money.
So I was doing,
they're millionaires, maybe 100 million, 200 million.
Yeah.
She's multi-billionaire.
I was doing the, like we're still in radio at that point, and I was on The Social, like CTV's The Social. So like they were doing wall to wall, like Beckham Peltz, like wedding coverage because of how I didn't realize the enormity of their family's wealth and also influence. And also there were some like pretty intense things being said about, like the prenup was in her fate. Like she had to protect herself. Yep. And so I didn't realize how like, this was quite the arrangement. Oh. And this would have ruffled quite a few feathers, money feathers. Like I can imagine that, like that, I keep calling her Posh, that Victoria and David were not only a bit intimidated, but probably like, this is the golden goose, you know? So
yes.
Yeah.
Well, and so I'm curious about this. Obviously, you know, this is a public scandal that's erupted. And the thing that everybody wants to know on TikTok is, first off, we know at that wedding, somebody was recording everything. Mm-hmm. Somebody's recording everything. You might have had to go, like if you had an invite to that wedding, you probably had to turn your phone in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But they had wedding videographers, which means that this dance that he references with his mom that was inappropriate and embarrassing is on a tape, on a hard drive, whatever, somewhere. And I don't care who it is, somebody kept a copy of that. And everybody is dying to know what exactly he means by she danced inappropriately on me and I was mortified by it. Mark Anthony called him to stage, by the way. And I'm trying to figure out, can I ask you this?
Oh yeah, sorry. I went down a portal. That's not her. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I had to look at like Mark Anthony's songs. I'm like, which song was Mark Anthony singing when Victoria Beckham danced inappropriately with her son at the wedding? Is it You Sang to Me?
I don't, you know what? I'm not super familiar with this catalog, but he's quite a crooner. Isn't he?
Huge.
I don't think I've ever said crooner.
He said, I Need to Know, You Sang to Me, My Baby You. And then he had that feature, he featured on Pitbull's Rain Over Me. I, let it rain over me. Remember that song?
What You Sang to Me?
You sang to me. Yeah. And then I need to know, tell me baby girl, because I need to know. Like, was that the song that he danced with Victoria?
And also, did Nicola and Brooklyn choose him, or that was mom and dad choosing? They were like, we need him.
It's certainly mom and dad's era, isn't it?
He's so interesting looking.
Mark Anthony? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's very, very high cheekbones.
God, he has beautiful cheekbones.
He does. Yeah.
You know what? I just can imagine. Can you imagine Victoria Beckham couple wines deep, okay? Couple wines deep, and she's fine with her little boy heading, flying a coop. She's fine with it. But that's her baby. And she's like drunk dancing. I can see it. Like, that drunk, have you ever seen like a drunk mom or drunk sister at a wedding where they're like, this is the best day of my life, but they're secretly angry? You've seen it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that I've seen it in the way that the two of you have seen it. You had this, both of you had a knowing look
exactly
with each
what
other.
I mean.
Oh yeah.
Kelly, explain it. Get into dig deep on
Go
that.
ahead, Steph.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Like it's there's always like the best friend that like says she's really happy for her friend, but she's and then she has a couple of drinks. She's like, I mean, I thought I'd get married before Ashley, but it's fine. Or like the mother that's
like overperforming.
Yeah, overperforming. Or the mother that's like, I mean, he's great. Is he good enough for Sarah? No. Like they just get, there's a drunk female energy at every wedding. And I feel like Victoria would be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, where she's excited, but she's okay. She's fine. She's a big day,
So when he says inappropriate, are we talking inappropriate as in she made it about her, or inappropriate as in there's something a little bit more?
No, it was about her. It was about her.
Okay, so it's not like some sort of like,
she's
you know
not.
what I'm talking about here.
No, it's not.
It's like where it gets a little bit. dark.
Incesty?
Yeah.
No.
We're not talking like incesty, like she was grinding on him or something.
I think that she was making it about her and her snatched body for sure. Yeah. And she was like, look at it. Like I think it would be very a sultry dance is where, again, like that weird drunk aunt that gets kind of sexy on the dance floor at a wedding.
Yeah.
Like Steph knows what I mean.
I've been to so many weddings.
You've seen it. You've seen it.
Steph is Italian, so she's therefore a wedding expert.
Seen it, yeah.
Steph, when you see people like this, what and you see the wording that he uses, because the wording I think is deliberately vague, because you see the TikToks now and everybody's like, oh, was she like grinding up on her son, which is so gross. Ew. What comes to mind? Like, what have you seen an example of?
Sometimes, I don't know. I was wondering the same thing. So I'm like, was it just like, sometimes there's people that are like huge mama boys and like they're dancing with their mom at the wedding and you're like, sweet, but also like maybe chill, Yeah. It's like maybe too much. But again, like, I don't know. I was wondering the same thing. Is it inappropriate because it was all about her and she's like, look at me, and like she made their dance even about her, like not even her son and her.
Yeah.
Or is it something even weirder?
And absolutely weirder too, when you think about the fact that she'd said she was going to design the dress, then didn't design the dress, and then Nicola had to rush at the last minute to get the dress. Right?
That's a power move.
Which is a whole thing. And then there's a Vogue article when the wedding came out that said Nicola was working with, I think it was Valentino, for like a year for this dress. So looking at that article and now hearing that she had to change her dress at the last minute, it's like, was that a Beckham press like thing that they slid in there just to be like, say you've been working with Valentino for the last year, so that doesn't make Victoria look bad.
Sure.
There's just so many little things that it's like, what's happening here?
Oh boy. This is so now my question is, how does Brand Beckham respond? Because obviously he references his brother dating his ex-girlfriend, which, can we just be honest?
That's weird.
That is weird. And I know
That's
that happens.
bizarre. Yeah.
I know that happens, like, especially if you're from like a smaller town and the dating pool isn't that big and whatever. But like, these guys have the whole world at their fingertips. You don't need to date.
It's so weird.
That's weird, right? And
yes,
then,
yeah.
And if you're a parent, I feel like you gotta step in and go, hey, son or daughter, you shouldn't do that. Like, pick anyone else. Anyone else.
You know what I think they're going to do? I think they're going to do nothing. I think they're going to say that he's unwell or something. I think that they're going to say
maybe.
like,
well, that's not doing nothing. That's a big accusation.
I think that they'll be like very quiet about it. They're not going to address it. They're going to be very calculated. And when they are asked about it, they'll say like, we're totally flabbergasted that he could ever say those things. We're not sure where they come from. We have been trying to reach out to him. Our thoughts are with him. We're here whenever he wants. Kind of like they're going to completely flip it, because I think there's nothing else that you can do. And Victoria will take the concerned mother. David won't touch it. I don't think David does much. You know what? Like, no, but like, I think like,
you don't think that's his bag, right? Like the PR thing?
I think after he got caught cheating, he has just shut the fuck up since then. Like way back when he got caught cheating. And I think there was a lot of cheating going on. I think that he was very sorry about that. But
allegedly.
And what I see, and I mean, obviously we only see this from the outside, but what I can see is that he wants to just like have a drink and kind of chill out and have a good time. And like, it's go, 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 go. Like he just listens to his wife, because he's like, my wife has made this entire family and was really there for me when where did he go? Madrid? That's where, like she has.
He went to
time
Madrid
and time
and then
again.
went to Roma too. I think he played.
Yeah,
for Roma.
she sacrificed a lot for their family. So I think ever since all that happened, he's just like, I'm just shutting up.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just shutting up.
Okay, so here's the part that's interesting to me. The last part of his statement is, we wanted to renew our vow. Oh, no, that's not it. No, my wife and I do not want a life shaped by image, press, or manipulation. All we want is peace, privacy, and happiness for us and our future family. So the privacy part for me is a bit funny because if you're that rich, you don't need social media. Lots of people who are that rich are not on social media
go off,
on purpose. They just want to be left alone. And you know what? Based on, revolutions of the past, it's probably best not to show off your wealth the way people are doing it on Instagram right now. Not a good idea.
It's
It makes
also
you a
the
bit
most
of a
powerful
target.
move. Like just be quiet.
But beyond that, all of these Insta stories come on the heels of him promoting a party that he was hosting in Vegas this past weekend. So when they say we want privacy, it's like, well, actually, no, I think you're using brand Beckham, which you didn't build. So because I've been on his side for a little bit here, but he didn't build this. She comes from some money, but she worked her way up.
Yeah.
Victoria did. Very, very hard with the Spice Girls.
Yeah, like incredibly hard.
And David comes from nothing.
Nothing, yeah. And has sacrificed his entire life, yeah.
So they've built this whole ecosystem, true or not, and he is benefiting from it. Why else? Do they have Brooklyn Beckham at a party because he's not David Beckham's son?
Also, like there are, and most of the TikTok comments I saw when I was scrolling through this morning being like, yeah, like I'm on Brooklyn's side, like this sounds legit. There were a lot of comments though saying this is exactly what someone would post when they are being controlled.
Oh,
like that's, yeah. So there's like, if you look at that way, being like, my family's crazy, we're fine. It's exactly what like Victoria would do, being like, it's spinning it, right? Like if you want people to know you're fine, you put out something like that, or you just I'm fine. So that could be like that, or it's like,
so they're protesting too much.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be one or the other. Somebody who is controlled and like, wants people to get off their back and their wife's back, or like maybe there was another comment I saw that this is exactly how you appease somebody that's controlling you. So this post could be for Nicola.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of ways to look at it. I don't think we'll know because it's not of our business, but even though it's none of our business, know this much. Here we are talking in my home on microphones about it, and God, it's juicy.
I do want to say too that like she comes from the kind of family wealth. Like control here is an easy thing for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because she comes from the kind of family wealth that her father tried a hostile takeover of Disney at one point. Like they got that kind of money.
What?
Yeah. Like
what does that even mean?
Well, like, so it's like where you basically try to buy up enough shares that you can become a hostile investor in a company, kick the board out and put a new board in and then make yourself chairman or CEO or both.
For Disney.
He
tried.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to do that to your company. No, I'm going to, what, Steph?
We're not publicly traded.
Let's make some money and then let's try to take over Steve Dangle Podcast Network. Let's go. And then maybe I'll finally have my golf podcast that I want.
There you go. Yes.
Give me a podcast.